Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of Box Truck Talk. I am your co-host, Scoochie Dean, here with the one and only D-Money.
Welcome in, folks. We're excited to get this off the ground.
Can we backtrack for a second? I've known you for, what, like 2 years now?
We'll chalk it up to 3.
Nobody's called you D-Money.
Come on, man. It's my clubhouse name.
Gotta love it.
What we got on tap for you guys today, we got a lot going on. First ever segment. We're first going to talk about new things in sports, our thoughts on the upcoming things in sports, and much, much more. Let's jump right into it, Scoochie.
First up on the agenda for, might tell ya, Derek Carr.
Yeah,
Dude,
how about that?
His situation out there in Las Vegas is abysmal. It's
One might say. You heard about the no trade clause, though, right?
sure did. So, meets with arbitration, right, with the Saints, does their thing there where they had the trade worked out previously between the Vegas Raiders and New Orleans. He goes there, he meets with them, he comes back and pretty much just tells Las Vegas, hey, I'm going to exercise that no trade clause because you're not going to get anything out of me because you did not pay me my money. So now they got to release him, or they got to end up paying him the $40 million. Earlier today, he was released.
Yeah.
So,
yep. Actually, it was Tuesday that he was released.
Oh.
So, and I think it was good for both sides because New Orleans kind of has to pay that extra money. Now they can get him at a cheaper rate. But Derek Carr also can kind of stick it to the Raiders. It's kind of best of both worlds, I guess, for both New Orleans and Derek Carr.
with that situation going in, that if you're the Vegas Raiders, how are you able to bring anybody in from free agency though? That was your guy, right? That was your dude, your franchise quarterback for the past however many years. He's got a whole bunch of Raiders records, and this is how it ends.
Right. I mean, where do they turn to next? Who do you think's going to come in?
Oh man, I hear possible Aaron Rodgers to get back with Devontae
That's
Adams.
what I've been hearing.
That's what makes the most sense, in my opinion. I also see the Jets making a hard push for Aaron Rodgers as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Taking 2 quarterbacks in the past couple drafts high, and then both of them kind of being busts. One might say, I guess. I don't know.
I think if you're the Raiders, you buy a quarterback and you draft defense because their offense is fine.
Yeah.
Their offense is fine. I think you have to buy a quarterback because you want to win now, especially in the AFC West. You have to do something different because what they're doing now and what they've got going on, especially what they did with Derek Carr, I mean, that wasn't the answer.
Right. And they did some stuff last offseason with getting some people on the outside. They got a running back. They got all the other stuff. They need a quarterback, and obviously they need to draft a defense.
Oh, 100%.
So, well, cool. That's we'll wrap that up with Derek Carr. We'll move on. We're gonna start talking about the XFL is kicking off this weekend, this Saturday.
Dude,
huge.
I love it. I hadn't paid a lot of attention.
I went to start doing some lines for the end of our segment. There are no lines out. It's crazy. So, we are gonna do a little rundown of the teams that are in the XFL. Who their coaches are, where they're gonna play. All that kind of stuff. We're going to start off with the Arlington Renegades. They're playing in Choctaw Stadium, which is actually old Globe Life Stadium, where the Texas Rangers used to play. Kind of crazy. And their head coach, none other, the one and only Bob Stoops.
Dude, kidding me?
These were my front runners for favorite team until I got down the list a little bit. We'll talk about it here in a second. Next up, and to go with that, I'm just going to outline each team's stadium capacity because there is a little bit of difference here. 48,000 roughly at Choctaw Stadium. Moving on to the DC Defenders. Obviously in Washington, D.C., they're going to play at Audi Field, which is actually where the DC United and the Washington Spirit play, which is the women's soccer team. 20,000 people, so about time and a half smaller than Arlington Stadium. And then their head coach is Reggie Barlow. You know anything about Reggie Barlow? I had no recollection.
I have no idea. I will say, though, uniforms kind of cool. They kind of give me a little bit of a Georgia vibe. All red.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
I mean, their logo could use some work. It looks like an XFL logo.
Well, I mean, it's the XFL.
It is the XFL.
It's the XFL.
But I think a 20,000 capacity stadium is right in their sweet spot, in my opinion.
I could see it in a town full of other things.
Correct.
Definitely.
Correct.
Could bring the atmosphere way up.
Yes.
Moving on, we're going back to the great state of Texas. Houston Roughnecks.
Dude.
All right, there's some controversy here. And I was talking to one of our coworkers the other day. They're playing at the same stadium that the Houston Cougars play at, football.
Good.
How's this going to work?
I don't know. I have no idea. I will say their uniforms even better than the Defenders.
Yeah, kind of look like the old Oilers.
Dude.
I mean,
you know who they look like?
kind of cool.
Kind of a Patriot vibe. Red, gray, and navy. But honestly, I like these more than the Patriots. These helmets are, the silver is more of like a metallic, and the logo's better. But
yeah. So where I was going with how is this going to work with playing in the same place as Houston? You run into. I look at the logistics side of things. Where are they going to lock her out of? Where's the front office going to be? Is there a spot in town? There's not much. Info on this type of stuff, at least from my digging. What's your thought process on where all that's going to be?
I mean, it's in the city of Houston, so you don't have a lot of space. I have no idea. I don't even know. I mean, in capacity-wise, way too much, in my opinion.
40,000?
I mean, it's almost before Houston kind of turned the table playing football. It was a little bit too much for them.
I mean, I know Texas loves their football, but good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, and to top it off, head coach, Wade Phillips.
Ooh.
What a guy.
I can get behind Wade Phillips.
Yeah. No,
I can get behind
I'm a
Wade
fan.
Phillips.
I'm a fan.
Sure.
Longtime Cowboys head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, next is quite possibly one of my favorites. Second favorite, I will say, Orlando Guardians. Oof. They're going to play at the Camping World Stadium in Orlando, which hosts 65,000 people. Ginormous stadium.
Another one that's just, way too much in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you.
Maybe the market's going to be bigger this year. I don't know.
Quite possibly could be. The reason why I like this is simply due to the fact that Camping World Stadium does not have a home team. So I think it could work.
That could be their branding.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah.
Camping World Stadium, Guardians.
The only thing that really happens there is they host some bowl games, at the end of the year, and they host the Florida High School State Championships. So there are some good things that go on there, but they don't have a home team. So I think that's their money.
Let me get this straight though. They're the Orlando Guardians. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's the DC Defenders.
Yes.
So they're like there's 8 total teams in the XFL.
Only 8.
And they 2 of them are the same name. They're just different wording.
Hey. I don't own the XFL.
they're gonna wonder why the market's not very big this year. Well, I can tell you why.
Yeah. And then to cap it off, Terrell Buckley is their head coach. Didn't have much recollection of him either.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm sure, obviously, if we dug into it, we could.
He's definitely a guy from somewhere, but I'm not sure what he's done, and that may just me being, not smart about the guys that aren't big time names, but I didn't know who he was. Next up, my favorite, the San Antonio Brahmas.
Just great name, great all around.
Dude,
come on.
You kidding me? They're gonna play in the Alamo Dome, which is massive. If you didn't know, 72,000 people. Everything is bigger in Texas. It's also where UTSA football plays. And guess who their head coach is? Don't say it. Hines Ward.
Come on, man.
Hines Ward. Guess what?
Oh, funny
Not
story.
only is he the head coach, also the GM.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say he plays.
Now,
like,
that would be a plot twist.
So
plot twist.
Early story of Hines Ward. When I was probably in the 3rd or 2nd grade, I had a fantasy football team, and he was like my first draft pick.
Yeah.
In like 2009, probably.
Yeah.
2008. He was a dude.
Yeah. Bald-headed and all.
Was a dude. I always loved it. Hines Ward, and played at Heinz Field.
Yes.
Spelled different, but still awesome. Come on.
Yeah. So, My favorite team solely due to their mascot. It's awesome. Plus, you put Heinz Ward in there with it. It just makes it better. Moving down the list in alphabetical order, the Seattle Sea Dragons.
This is my favorite team.
Scoochie's favorite team.
My favorite team, baby. I love just these uniforms. Immaculate. They
He
kind of
loves
got
the color. Scoochie loves the color orange.
dude, and it's the perfect tint of orange. It's matte. They got green going.
They kind of
for
got the
'em.
FAMU helmet going.
Correct.
Don't they?
Yes, Florida A&M.
Yeah, no, that's
Perfect.
sick.
I love it. They play at Lumen.
They play at
Field.
Lumen Field, so where the Seahawks play.
Uh,
Talk about massive.
yeah, and if
in
they
a
can,
small market, like Seattle isn't that big.
no, so I mean, I could get behind it. Maybe maybe they like it. I don't know. Maybe Geno Smith free agency goes over there.
Listen, springtime in Seattle.
It's raining.
Oh my gosh,
It's raining.
you better be able to run the ball. Their head coach Jim Haslett, great guy. Next, St. Louis Battlehawks, the one and only Midwest team other than Texas, obviously. They're playing in the Dome, which some might not know. The Dome is where the old Rams Stadium used to be. Still standing. Did you know that?
I did not.
I thought they tore it down.
Hold on. The Dome
Yeah, the Dome.
in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Dude.
But I get to doing some research. They have events in there all the time. Huge renovation.
Like a convention?
Monster trucks, like
no.
rodeos,
First, did you
all
see
kinds of stuff.
some monster truck dude did a front flip in a monster truck the other day?
All right.
Okay, I saw that on TikTok. Sorry, off track, but that was insane.
Good Lord.
A front flip in a monster truck?
All right. Anthony Becht is their head coach. Not sure about him either. And then we get kind of into the stadium that I was like, what? The Vegas Vipers. They're playing at Cashman Field. It's where Las Vegas FC is. It looked like when I looked it up, it was an old AAA, maybe AA baseball stadium. I was very underwhelmed. I don't know. Maybe that's not their permanent home. Maybe not. I don't know. Have you done anything on this? You don't.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
My knowledge for the XFL stops at the Sea Dragons,
Yep.
and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. No. And listen, we're all gonna get educated on it because next week there better be lines on these games because we're gonna be doing some pick'ems.
Dude. And I'd like to say
Guess-
that the pick'ems are going to be good, but
Oh.
we have no idea.
Dude, I'm fired up about it. Guess who their head coach might be? Rod Woodson. None other than the 2009 Hall of Fame inductee Rod Woodson.
Now that's what I'm talking. That's some firepower.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Him and Heinz Ward just owning the league. What are they gonna? They're gonna go against each other? Somebody gonna play? Heinz gonna play receiver and Rod just gonna line up at DB?
He's jamming them.
Dude,
He's got to get off the ball.
next thing you know, Dion's gonna be in the XFL. All right, well that wraps up the 8 XFL teams and where they're gonna be playing. Again, my favorite team, none other than the San Antonio Brahmas, and Scoochie's favorite team.
Seattle Sea Dragons. Solely on uniform, but I think they got potential. Pitchers and catchers reported February 13th.
Yeah, huge. I have some buddies in the in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Me used to work in the clubhouse, AA baseball. Got a buddy with the Red Sox. I was talking to him the other day. He was fired up.
Dude, that's awesome.
Dude, start of baseball season is always awesome.
And just baseball in general is just complete chaos and hectic. How many levels there are?
Yeah, and actually it used to be way more hectic.
Yeah.
There's only 4 minor league levels now. There used to be like 6.
And like back in the day, way back in the day, they draft a player because they're like, oh, he's a good third baseman. My rival needs one. I
Yeah.
don't need one. I'm a drafter. I'll
Trading
leave him in
power.
my minors. Like,
Yeah.
what? Leaving him in
Well,
the
yeah,
system?
drafting to keep him away from people. I see where you're going with it. Yeah.
I know one. He's bounced around the league. Went to Louisville. Good friend of my high school football coach. He from Iowa. Like I said, went to Louisville, got drafted, went and played in the majors for the Diamondbacks for a little bit. Bounced around the league. Most recently got some action playing over there in Japan for the Swallows.
Dude, winter ball? is on another level.
Says he loved it. They love him over there because they played at the majors.
Yeah,
Dude.
you're a superstar.
Yeah, they paid
Doesn't
for
matter
everything.
if you go to Japan, Mexico, it doesn't matter. You're a superstar, and from my hearings, you make bank.
Yep.
Like straight cash.
Have to. And most recently, he's with the Rockies now. So
Okay.
and they are
got
supposed
you.
to play
What level?
Royals. I think he's starting out in Double-A, I believe.
Ooh, good.
Quite possibly double. It's double or triple. He's a little bit older.
Now Rockies, Arizona League, right?
Yes.
Yes. All my complex destinations are not up to par, but I know a little bit. Kind of crazy. I was actually on Instagram right before we came over here, and MLB put out something about new rules in 2023.
Rate him.
Yeah. So what the fans said they wanted, what do they want? Faster pace of game.
Oh my.
And they want more balls in play and action on the bases.
I would
So
want-
what do they want? They want more hits, and they want more stolen bases.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'd want more home runs, in my opinion.
You know what MLB is saying that they're going to try and implement to get this to happen? They're bringing the pitch clock, thinking about bringing the pitch clock from the minors up to the big leagues. Being a clubhouse guy, I love it.
Yeah.
Dude,
It makes sense.
anything to get that first load of laundry in there quicker
Yep.
after the game,
Yep.
you're a friend of the clubhouse guy.
Anything to help speed up any type of process.
So what it would be is when there's somebody not on base, you get 15-second pitch clock. So it's the second you get the ball back from the catcher, you have to start your windup.
Wow.
Yes,
The second.
like that.
What?
Like that.
Okay. My question to that is, you seeing it? If they don't, what happens then?
So if the batter steps out of the box when time is expiring,
yes.
it's a strike. If the pitcher doesn't pitch the ball, it's a ball.
No.
Yes. It's incredible. I saw it in the minors last year. Saw it firsthand. Not the strike.
The ball?
I haven't seen the strike,
Saw the ball.
but I've seen the ball more than once. And I was talking to some of the guys in the clubhouse during the games last year, and they're trying to scheme around this rule. So they're saying, hey, they're talking to their catchers in between innings. Hey, hold the ball. I'm going to get set up on the mound, get ready for my pitch. You're going to give me a little hand signal to tell me what I'm throwing, and then you throw the ball back to me. So they're going to scheme around it. But I will tell you, I think the average time for Double-A games last year in the 2 years ago in the Texas League was roughly, 2:56. I think they knocked it down almost 2.5 hours. Like I think it was 2:28 was a number
That's incredible.
just from the pitch clock.
That's insane.
Now, and the crazy thing is they had the pitch clock the year before.
Yes.
They didn't enforce it
Okay. So why do you have it? But you
to
don't?
get you ready for it.
Oh,
Say, hey, this is
okay.
how quick it's going to happen.
This is what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if it was blatant, obviously,
Yeah.
a lot of times though the pitcher would step off the mound at that point, and then they'd restart the clock.
Okay. I mean, I can understand that one.
Yeah. So
That
I think it's awesome.
I like the rule there.
Another thing, the shift restrictions, which I think they implemented last year, didn't they?
If they did, it was very loose, but
Okay,
I knew it was in
know
the works.
they did it in the minors.
Okay.
They definitely did it in the minors.
Yep.
So this year, this is what they're saying. The new rules in 2023, you have to have two position players on either side of second base.
Which I figured
Either side of the infield.
that's how they would break down that rule.
I mean, that's
yeah.
the other thing. They did this in the minors last year also. Bigger bases.
I knew that one.
People don't think the bigger bases make that big of a difference.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can guarantee.
Yeah. How
that
many
they
people
do.
get thrown out by a fraction of a second?
a lot?
A lot.
A
Yeah.
lot. Hey.
Yeah, you ain't getting thrown out no more because the guy is just as fast and has to cover 6 less inches.
Did they have review in the minors?
They did. Did they? I don't remember.
I feel like if they have all this other stuff
that's
and they
a-
don't
that's a good
have
question.
review,
That's a good
I
question.
feel like they definitely should.
Here's what I will tell you, because 2 years ago I was the clubhouse guy in Wichita.
Correct.
I took care of the umpires,
Yes.
and I know for a fact in 2021 they did not have review because I talked to the umpires after the game, and they said if they show that replay up there again, with it being that close, I'm running the camera guy. Running in baseball means get him the hell out of here.
So they're just doing it to stir them up, really, and stir everybody
and
up.
you could,
Honestly,
you could also say You know, the camera guys may not have been knowing what they're doing, but I wouldn't say that. I don't think that at all. I think we were trying to use it as a home field advantage a little bit, obviously.
Oh, I think 100%. And why would you not?
No doubt. But
Until
when it
the
comes
umpire
down to
says,
the
"Hey,
umpire saying, hey, get the hell out of here.
Stop it. You're
Yeah.
done."
Yeah.
Back to this. Cactus League teams, they train in Arizona, and the Grapefruit League teams work out in Florida.
Yeah. Kind of all up and down the coast.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Would you rather train in Arizona or Florida? I know my pick.
Where are you going?
Florida.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Even though it's hot and sticky and
Here's
baseball
my
pants.
thing. Here's my thing. I want the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Florida for spring training. And then when I get invited to fall league, we're going to Arizona. So I get the best of both worlds.
That's
By the way, have you seen anything on fall league?
No.
That stuff is awesome. I think there's like 6, 8 teams maybe. But they basically, each club invites 5 prospects,
Correct.
minor league guys,
Mhm.
or possibly rehab guys or something like that who didn't play much maybe. But sometimes it's like the star player in AA, it might be. Just somebody who they think is right on the brink of hitting stride, and they don't want him to, they want him to continue to develop past the end of the year.
Yeah.
They bring them to 5 from each organization,
Okay.
split them into, I think it's 8 different teams, and they play, I think it's a month long.
And you just
Incredible.
So
It's awesome.
It's just like a mixture of teams and
Yeah.
players from those teams.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk about mascots. We were talking about XFL mascots. Fall league mascots are awesome. Awesome. We'll get on it sometime.
You know what? Speaking of fall league, the guy that I know, I say I know him through a friend. Actually, I think maybe his fall league teammate was Chris Bryant.
Oh,
That's
wow.
about the same time
Yeah.
that they were coming up together.
Yeah.
So he would give him
What a
rides
guy.
all the time, and Chris Bryant didn't have a car, so this guy would always just take him anywhere he needed to go. So
Yeah, those days of the hard life in the minors, I think, are coming to a close.
yeah.
I mean, it's
mean,
getting
it's-
easier and easier for the minor guys. Don't get me wrong; it's still hard. Trust me, it's
Yeah.
hard.
It's a grind.
Some guys don't make that much, but they also get the housing and stuff paid for now. But anyway,
do.
I could rent. Yeah.
Like normal, like houses or apartments in Wichita, they get them paid for.
So yeah, right across from the ballpark, they have apartments that
Ah,
the Twins
okay.
pay for.
That's nice.
It's awesome.
I could get behind that. I could get
Year
behind
one in Wichita, they did not, so they kind of shuffled around, and some of them did hotels, some of them did home to suite, some of them did apartment complex. But yeah, now the Twins take care of it.
That's
So
good.
It's really, really cool. So enough of that. I could ramble for days on minor league baseball. Next up, NJCA coaching changes in football. So, news broke this past week. Independence head coach steps down, taking a job at the FBS level, to our knowledge. Hasn't been released yet. We don't know where he's going.
that. Really?
Yeah. So, good for him. I've heard he's a great guy. I've never had never talked to him. Jason Martin is his name. Never talked to him. Seems to be a good guy.
Yeah.
He watched the show, and he's a guy that's pretty logical in there. Nice guy, I think. Right now, the other thing that hasn't been talked about is who's his replacement going to be. Right now, the interim is Keith Donnerson, their D-line coach. Heard he's a great guy.
Yeah, I heard he's a great guy too. That's something I have heard about him.
Yeah.
So
If he gets it, awesome. Now we've heard rumblings that he is the guy that's going to get it, but nothing released yet.
correct.
And then next one, kind of a sad deal. Coach Powers up at Highland suddenly passes away from a heart issue, I believe. I know it was a medical condition, obviously. Super sad. So we're obviously thinking about those guys. But DJ Mayo, who was on the staff before, is taking over the reins at Highland. And then down in Mississippi, Kahoma, Terrence Metcalf, new head coach at Kahoma. So just kind of in the news. We are going to shuffle into the next segment of Controversy in Sports.
Oh yeah. So this segment, Fine, Be That Way, is its name. Fine, be that way.
Fine, be that way.
This is really pretty much where we're just talking about different controversies and things we see in the sports realm world. So Dallas, you want to take it off? Take us into our first
Yeah,
topic?
so I'm just going to pull the cat out of the bag. NIL in sports, in college athletics. Good or bad? What do you think?
So when you break it down, I mean, getting the players paid for things like their jerseys being sold. That's good for fans, one, because it could be
Huge.
like, if I'm a Quinn Ewers fan and I want a Quinn Ewers jersey, let me buy a Quinn Ewers jersey.
No doubt.
And I want a cool Nike one that he wears. I don't want to buy
Just like the NFL one.
a Coliseum
Yeah.
one.
No,
you
you
know?
don't want that.
That I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
These other ones are just absolutely insane.
Well, here's the thing, and we're going to talk about a guy here in a second who just kind of like exemplifies the fact that it's name, image, and likeliness. That means you're doing something to receive the money.
Correct.
Half of this stuff, they're not doing a darn thing.
They're giving him they're writing him a check.
They're writing a check to him.
And like I don't agree with
Literally
that.
Nothing.
Like if I own a dealership and I'm like, hey D Money, I want you to be on my billboard. I'll give you $250,000 to do it. Fine.
Absolutely. Guess what? I'm going to do 4 interviews as well. Like I'll do 5 meet and greets
Yeah.
at the dealership.
I'll-
You're giving me $250,000.
Not just like I'm not going to give you the money and be like, hey, here, I'm a booster.
Hey, here's
I
a
can
car
do
for
this now.
you, your mom, your dad, whoever. And guess what? You can just walk away with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a dang thing for it. But hey, since you play for so-and-so, here you go.
Now, I do know that, I mean, some places, I know there's a couple places and teams of players at like K-State where there is a dealership in town where they'll give a player a car to drive. Now it's a Porsche, but they give him a car to drive while he's there, but only in Manhattan. I'm fine with that, because a lot of people.
Well, and here's the other thing. If the dealerships were smart about it, you'd be wrapping that car with, whatever your dealership is.
Yes.
Then you can consider that a service.
Yes.
It's not like you're just giving them a car to drive to drive to get from campus to McDonald's or what have you.
He's driving around advertising my place.
Yes. I don't. It's crazy to me.
But just
There are good things about it. Yes, don't get me wrong. When you earn it,
correct.
when you do something for it.
Before you tell your story, I mean, just look at, like I already said his name, Quinn Ewers, going to Ohio State because that's the first place that would give him money and give him all this stuff, and like he could get exempt out of it.
Was nothing compared to what Mr. Rashada's getting.
And then just
Jesus.
bounces, goes back home. So
that brings me into Jaden Rashada. Once a Miami commit, and then decommits to try and get a little bidding war between Florida's collective and Miami's NIL collective, and then comes time to enroll in January, and Florida's collective says, we don't have the money. Not for you, at least. And just to kind of give you a rundown of the type of money they're talking about, $13.8 million over the course of his 4 years.
what does he play?
Quarterback.
Oh, out of
Not
where?
even the number 1 quarterback in the class. Let me have you.
Where's he from?
California, I believe.
Just some quick math here. So 13.8 divided by 4. Almost $3.5 million a year.
I'll do you one better. I got it broke down by the month.
Please, thank you.
$500,000 up front.
Good.
Basically a signing bonus. Basically.
A month.
A month. What would you do with $500,000 if you just got it today and said,
Now-
"Nope, don't have to do anything? Going back, don't have to do a dang thing for it."
Now, is that broken down as a month when he's at school, or is that including like the 12 months in a year?
No. This is $5,000 up front. Signing bonus.
Oh, so he does it. He gets that's not even part of the
Up
13.8.
front.
Dude.
That takes out the 13.8, but it's up front. You
Oh,
get
okay.
it before you even show up on campus. Now, obviously, you got to be enrolled.
Yeah. Also, how they get this money? Is it wired? Is it a check?
I couldn't tell you. Don't know that deep into it. Haven't worked at that level.
I do know that there are places on campuses of these schools where they do their taxes for these kids.
At certain places, I've heard that.
That's smart. Okay,
Heard that.
continue.
So, freshman year, and I don't know how they did this. I think they did it just due to possibility of going to the draft. But first year, $250,000 a month as a freshman. As a sophomore, he's getting $291,666 per month. As a junior, $375,000. And then as a senior, like I said, I think they did this due to the draft, $195,000 every 30 days. So I think it comes down to, every 30 days, so they don't have to pay him for the second semester, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. And we just talked about what they have to do for this. Jaden Rashada literally has to show up on campus, make a monthly Twitter and Instagram post. I'm not a huge Instagram guy. I'm not a huge Twitter guy. I get on there. I don't post a lot.
Yeah.
Now, my wife will tell you I have posted 2 things in the past 2 days on Instagram, so we're working on it.
Nice.
But he has to do 1 post on each social media platform a month. A month.
And for
Nothing.
what? Just for the University of Florida?
Just promoting himself. Some type of promotional what it's a branded post is what the article said. And then he has to sign 15 things a year. What?
Easy.
What? I could sign it in 2 minutes. 15 things in 2 minutes. And then 8 fan engagement things per year.
Okay, that's still
not
easy.
bad.
I don't know. Well, what's a fan
you kidding me?
What's a fan engagement thing? What do you think that would be? Like after practice meet and greet?
Yeah, like I'm a KU fan. They have Hawk Talk on like Thursday nights.
Okay.
He's gonna show up and talk with Billy Napier if he
Nice.
were to go to Florida on Gator Talk on Thursday night.
Oh, so it's not like he's got to go to like a little kid bar mitzvah or something.
No. He's just hanging out.
He's just hanging out.
Yeah,
Okay.
and everybody's gonna show up because everybody wants to see the Jaden Rashada, the next quarterback at Florida University. Anyway, whatever. All of it gone. No,
Just because
Collective doesn't want to pay it.
shows up and they say, "Yeah, we're
No,
not
no.
doing that."
Collective doesn't want to pay it.
What does that mean? Collective.
So the collective is the people who raises the money to fund the NILs.
would that not be the boosters?
Same type of thing, but I think there's for the NIL. I don't think it can come directly from the boosters. So the boosters create this collective
Okay.
to funnel the money through the collective to the players. If that makes sense.
Yes. I
could be totally wrong, but that's from my understanding and my little bit of knowledge on it. That's kind of what I've gathered from that.
That's
And it started out, I told you there's a bidding war between Miami
Correct.
and Florida. What the collective was okay when it was at $9 million. There was like a $4.5 million increase, and the collective said, no.
wow.
So kind of crazy.
Did he bounce back to Miami or what? What's
No,
his plan?
so even crazier. Arizona State.
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't even look up what the NIL deal was because I
what
know
they're
it
doing?
went from it was like deal or no deal, and you open $1 million, deal, and it goes down a ton of money in NIL. Crazy. So
I've had talks with people and I'm like, it's no longer like, dude, I got to get to the NFL to make it. I've just got to be a big name at D1 and I've made it.
not even.
Not
even. You got to play good football on your sophomore and your junior year of high school to become a big time recruit. Because guess what? Guess when you're getting your offers?
your
Your junior year.
That's insane.
Heck, some kids commit before their senior year even starts. In fact, the big time kids, you get on their stuff, they don't even make a huddle for their senior year. They don't have to. They already got the offers that they want.
That'd be cool. Just
It's
to
crazy.
not even have to.
Yeah. So
I'd still make one.
no, I mean, yeah, showcase your stuff, but
Yeah.
at that point, you got what you
Maybe
want.
somebody's gonna give you a bigger NIL if they see your
Yeah,
senior
I don't know.
film.
I don't know about that.
My topic I'm bringing to the table today, it's one that's more prevalent now or more present now than ever. And I don't know if it's just because this year or what. Penalties in football, but honestly more general, just officials in the general realm of sports. Give me your thoughts
Yeah,
on
and
these.
here's the thing. I think everybody's kind of worked up about, second to last drives, third to last drive, whatever it was in the Chiefs game, Super Bowl. Honestly, earlier in the game, they got away with a more blatant call than they called on the whatever drive it was in the later part of the game.
Yeah.
Juju gets twisted around and they don't call it, which I think – I was listening to a podcast the other day. I honestly think he scores.
Yeah.
Not on that play, but I think the Chiefs drive down and score.
Oh.
They got momentum, and then that just
what was that, like a
buzzsaws
third
them.
and 4? It was like a third and 4.
I think it was like a
slant
third and
across,
7.
across the middle. Yeah.
But he was right at the first down marker. Like he's getting the 6'2" Juju's getting the first down.
And the throw goes to him.
Yeah.
So, no,
Yeah.
I know the exact play you're talking about.
And then call it, don't call it. I mean, you can call it a script, whatever you might want to call it, but how many referees are thinking about what somebody told them to call on third and whatever it was late in the Super Bowl? You're a freaking official in the Super Bowl.
And,
You're obviously pretty good.
yeah, and my thing is, I saw Tony Dungy put a tweet out, and he's like, all these people saying, like, you don't call that in this position or at this point in time. A penalty's a penalty.
A penalty's a penalty.
Because the last thing people want to do is, like, then this news breaks, they don't throw the flag. And you can clearly see the jersey tug.
Yeah.
You see the jersey tug on the first when he's getting out of his whip route. And then you can kind of see a little bit hand on his hip the second time running down, more so down the hash. But a penalty is a penalty, like I said. So for them to call it then, it was going to be a penalty in the first quarter, which is what it should have been because it was a penalty.
No doubt.
So...
No doubt. Yeah, I think it just goes back to penalties a penalty. And here's the other thing. What Juju said on Twitter.
Dude, come on.
No.
I don't like that.
Me neither.
Like, come on. Like,
it's terrible. You won the game. You have the Super Bowl. The Eagles already feel like crap. What? Why?
No.
You have a ring. Why?
I did like A.J. Brown's response, though.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
He's true. He was on his way out, and then MV Pat, baby.
Yeah, well, hey, Pat can do some things.
Dude, Pat's nice now. But
yeah.
and we loosely talked on this a little bit before. Officials in general, in my opinion, they hold their mark on more so on sports like basketball and football because they're penalties that dictate a play, which like can choose if you go forward or backward, take points on or off the board or whatnot, as opposed to baseball. You know, like if I'm in the box and I can see an outside pitch, I think it's outside, but he's consistently calling it, got to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. You got to adjust to how and I was listening to it, like I said, I was listening to a podcast the other day. They were talking about adjust to how – and people adjust their play calling even.
Yeah.
Even. Like, call the play how they're going to call it on the field. You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Penalty's a penalty, in my opinion.
I agree. No matter when it is, what it is. You don't like it because, yeah, it might take away the drive the Eagles could have had, but that's –
And let's be honest. Does it really change the game? Yeah, it does. But guess what? I think even if the Eagles go down and score – because Chiefs are going to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, and let's be honest, hopefully Butker makes it. Theoretically speaking, hopefully Butker makes it.
I mean, technically, they shouldn't have been in that spot to begin with because
Sure.
he missed a 42-yarder to begin with.
Well, right. But here's the thing where I'm going with it is hopefully Butker makes it. Even if they do drive down and score, I got my money on Pat.
Dude, 13 seconds?
Oh, yeah, that's tough. So maybe it does. Maybe it does,
Yeah.
Change the outcome of the game. But penalty's a penalty.
Here's something that I think are on a lot of people's minds, more so now because of this flag football thing the NFL decided to do. What's your take on all-star games?
Dude,
What's your thought on that?
What are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
Here's my opinion, NFL All-Star Game, you still have the All-Star Game like it did back in the day, and if somebody wants to opt out, let them opt out. If they don't want to do it.
I didn't mind the change when they went from because the guys that played in the Super Bowl used to play in the Pro Bowl, right? I think way back in the day. And then they changed it to where if you play in the Super Bowl, yeah, you don't have to play.
Ever since I've been alive and known football, I think it's been
maybe I messed up. Maybe I
now.
messed up. But the flag football thing,
no,
and we're about to see it with the NBA All-Star Game. Like the score is gonna be 240 to 246. Like, yeah, bet the over. What?
Literally,
And no one's gonna play defense.
I do like the skills comp the NFL does. That's
skills
fun.
comp is legit.
That's fun. Dodgeball was kind of cool. It was kind of if you're gonna throw rubber balls at each other, why can't they play football?
Yeah, and I get where they're coming from.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a violent game, but you also make a lot of money to play a violent game. And here's the thing: we were talking about it with golf the other day. People aren't wanting to play all these tournaments. I thought you loved this game.
Yeah. Shouldn't
so
you want to play
you're telling
it more?
me you don't want to play? I don't know. Just seems.
Dude, you can't make this up.
Yeah, it's
Can't make this up.
Kind of wild. So. Cool. Well, we are going to segment into just our general talk. So, Scoochie Dean, just thoughts on the Super Bowl.
Dude.
We talked about it just a little bit, but
Yep.
overall thoughts.
Overall thoughts, great game. The big kicker for me and really momentum turn, in my opinion, which really changed the game, was the Chiefs' Jalen Hurts fumble, pickup for a touchdown, Nick Bolton. I mean, that's the difference in my opinion.
No doubt.
You get a turnover. Chiefs didn't have a turnover, and their defense scores. And really, that was really huge because they have like 24 plays on offense the first half.
They didn't have the ball barely at all.
Something close to that. So, like, for their defense to go out there and score a defensive penalty, very impressive, very
well,
needed.
It's something that the Chiefs really hadn't done all year.
Oh, not at all. And
Yeah,
against a team like
takes
the
a lot of
Eagles,
pressure off the offense.
you got to do something like that. Jalen Hurts played out of his mind. If we're honestly speaking,
Dude.
he should be the MVP.
Yeah, no brainer.
3 rushing touchdowns, over 200 whatever passing or whatever he threw, and a throwing touchdown. 4 total touchdowns from the guy. I mean, come on. Their defense, complete lapse. Second half, you can talk about that, be as it may. One thing I want to talk about, the playing surface. They grew it for 2 years.
Yeah, I don't like. Everybody's talking about how much the Eagles had to change cleats and all this kind of stuff, but the Chiefs didn't change any cleats that I know of. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's chalked up to something to do in the equipment room. I don't know.
That's literally the way I look at it, is just the Chiefs' equipment room was better than the Eagles at that point in time, in my opinion, if they didn't have to change or
Hey,
they
true
knew
definition of everybody matters.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, seriously. So kind of crazy. The Super Bowl though, great game.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Mahomes, dog. Who else? Kelsey.
Dude. Brothers, dogs.
Dude, how about listen to this? Here's another bold take. Kadarius Toney could possibly be an MVP candidate.
Longest punt return in Super Bowl history.
Okay, first of all, they play it back from the end zone view. Where the hell was he going?
And in the interview, he goes, I picked up the ball and I just saw everybody. I'm like, you saw everybody because you ran 10 yards to your
right
left.
at him. And then almost get tackled, and you're like, oh. And then they set up the wall from 1984.
Coming back.
Like, holy smokes. It's wild. But overall, awesome game. Chiefs, Super Bowl champs, baby.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love it. World champs.
So, moving on. Obviously, Super Bowl festivities. They Hall of Fame inductees. How many do we have this year? 10, 9, whatever it is. I'm just gonna go down the list here. Rondé Barber. Love the Barber Brothers. You remember the Barber Brothers?
They had this book.
Yes.
Read the book.
Yes.
I loved the book.
Tiki Barber, great dude.
Yep.
Loved him.
Met him?
Never met him.
Oh.
Never met him, but just loved
him?
how he played.
Love it.
But that was like my growing up time of like LT was my guy.
Yeah.
Not Lawrence Taylor, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh, yeah.
So the running back era right there, right before the running back, started to drift away. Those were my guys. Darrelle Revis Island,
Dude.
retired a Chief, right?
Did he?
I think he did.
Come on.
Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
You remember Joe?
Yep.
So I see a TikTok the other day of Big Joe Thomas jumping into his pool in his backyard. Yeah, Big Joe Thomas has a 6-pack now.
No.
And is rocked out of his mind. Like, not to sound anything like that, but like the dude's done well after football.
Good for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Zach Thomas,
Yeah.
great middle linebacker for the Dolphins.
Yep.
DeMarcus Ware.
I love DeMarcus Ware growing
Dude,
up.
crazy story about DeMarcus Ware. I don't know him, but I have recruited his high school before. So I'm in there, in a previous recruiting class, talking to his coach. It wasn't the coach that was at the school now, Auburn High School in Auburn, Alabama. The coach has this interesting emblem on. I'm like, what is that? And he's like, call me naive, I had no idea DeMarcus Ware went to Auburn High School. I do now, but He's like, oh, this is DeMarcus Ware's clothing line. He's like, come look at this. Opens up some back equipment room in the back full of DeMarcus Ware freaking clothes. He's like, here.
Have some.
Have some. So I'm like, what? He's like, now I'm going to make my bag overweight going home. No, I'm just kidding. But that would have been sweet, right?
That'd be
I'd have had to
awesome.
wear it home.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't, but that would have been cool. Sick, cut off hooded sweatshirt. Charcoal gray with a blue DeMarcus Ware logo on it. It's awesome. Don Coryell. He was a coach. Next one that was inducted. Chuck Howley. Not sure. Ken Riley. And then my favorite that not a lot of people are going to know about, Big Bulldog Joe Klecko.
Joe Klecko.
You ever heard of Joe Klecko?
Nope. Eagles?
Where did Joe Klecko play for? See, I don't even know him as a football player.
This picture looks like the Eagles.
In my opinion, he's a movie star.
No way.
Yes, listen to this.
Joe Klecko.
No, he was New York Jets.
Oh.
Jets.
Close to the green. Come on.
So, huge old-time movie fan.
Yep.
Can literally recite every line of Smokey and the Bandit 1. In Smokey and the Bandit, did you know that there's a second Smokey and the Bandit?
I did not.
Guess what? There's a third.
No.
Yes, it's crazy. Second Smokey and the Bandit, there's a barge going down the river, and they got the cop stopped behind this big truck. And the gate starts to open so the barge can go underneath the bridge.
Okay.
And the sheriff is behind the truck, the semi, and he's like, hey, move that piece of junk. So Big Bulldog Joe Klecko is the guy in the truck. Crazy. And I didn't even know he was a football player until I looked it up the other day. He looks out the window. He's like, let me see if I can get it in gear. He puts it in reverse, I'm pretty sure. If I'm recalling this correctly. Puts it in reverse. Yep, there he is. Jackie Gleason right there. Puts it in reverse and hits the front of the... Maybe I'm making that up. But he does get out. He puts it in park, puts the air brakes on, whatever. Puts it in park, comes out, and he says, Sheriff, your badge is crooked. He grabs his badge and wads it up. Tells him to have a nice day and jumps back in his truck. Crazy, I know. But that's my Big Bulldog Joe Klecko story. So, next we're going to segue back into baseball a little bit. So my favorite team, and partly because I worked for the Twins for a little bit, not really the Twins, I worked for the Wichita Wind Surge. Where are your favorite teams' big prospects going? Scoochie's favorite team is the Cubs. So starting out, kind of a crazy one, number one prospect in the Twins organization, Brooks Lee. You know anything about Brooks Lee?
No.
Cal Poly kid, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Gets drafted 2022 draft. Makes it all the way to Double-A by the end of the season. No. Gets drafted 2021 draft. Maybe. Let me recall that. I know last year he made it to Double-A, and everybody's like, hey, this is a big-time prospect. You better do all this, and this. Great guy. Very low maintenance. Great dude. I think he starts in Double-A. Depending on how Royce Lewis comes back from his injury and how Carlos Carrera plays out, I don't think he makes it to the bigs this year, but I think he's in AAA, and I think he stays in AAA until next year, obviously. I think next is Royce Lewis. I think today is actually injury reserve day. So you can put guys on the IR, and so the Twins have 3 spots to move people up to the 40-man. I wonder what they're going to do with it. I haven't seen anything yet today, but next one is Royce Lewis. He made it to the big leagues last year. I think after starting briefly in AAA and then towards ACL. So he won't be released until June, but I think he finishes in the bigs. Truly do. And then Emmanuel Rodriguez. I don't know Emmanuel because he's still in low A. He's fairly young. I believe he's an international signee, but I think he makes it to Double-A this year. And then Connor Prelip, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Not sure. Don't know much about him because he's still low A ball. He's in rookie ball, but I think he could possibly make it to Double A. But I think he starts in low A this year. And then rounding out my top 5, Matt Wallner.
Yep.
Played in the Futures game last year.
Okay.
Interesting guy. Great guy.
Know him personally?
Yeah, he started in Wichita last year.
Awesome.
Southern Miss guy.
Okay.
Dude, can throw the baseball a country mile on a rope. On a rope.
He's a good ball player now.
Oh, he can play.
He can play ball.
Had the biggest or the highest off the bat velocity in the Futures game. I think he went 121 off the bat for a homer.
Okay.
At Dodger Stadium.
Love it.
Yeah. Dude, and he's huge. He's like 6'4".
Jeez.
He made it all the way to the bigs last year.
Okay.
After some injury stuff. I think he starts in AAA, and I think they use him as trade bait. I think they trade him. I think they get rid of him because I just don't see where he fits into the mix
Yeah.
for the Twins. You know,
For the big Twins.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Up
So
there.
I don't know. On to the Cubbies. What we got?
My 5, baby. Here we go. Top 3 for the Cubs are outfielders. Okay.
Ooh.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
That's first of all, hold on. That's kind of interesting. No arms in the top 5.
No arms
top
in the
3,
top
I guess.
Top 3, yes.
Wow.
Top 5, the last 2 are pitchers. So lefty, bats and throws, younger than me. Younger than me,
Talk about crazy, dude.
High A, plays for the South Bend Cubs. Okay. Rated as an A+. An A+
Ooh.
prospect. Dude. So, from California, Harvard Westlake. Gotta love it. He's the number 1. He's my guy. Right, like I said, high A.
Where do you think he makes it to? Think he can get to AAA?
No, I think he gets double A this
Double A,
year.
yeah.
I think double A this year, and they kind of tell him, look, you're like a September call-up next year.
Here's what I will tell you about something like that. So, and sorry I'm rambling again, but when I was with the Wind Surge, Jose Miranda, who's now in the big leagues, was killing it.
Yep.
Straight killing it. Just raking, hitting bombs. They actually coined Wichita Walk-Off City because Jose Miranda hits like 3 walk-offs in 4 nights. It was incredible.
Now that's sick.
It was wild. Everybody else is around him is getting called up, and he's like, "What the heck am I doing wrong? Because I'm the dude here."
Yeah.
And I remember, director of development was actually at our facility in Wichita that week that he did all that, and they're like, "Just be patient. You're gonna be fine." And the only thing I can say is, thank God he was patient.
Tell me he made the jump all the way up.
He did not make the jump.
Okay.
But he got called up to AAA, and his first game hit 2 bombs. Doesn't make the bigs by the end of that season, but he did make the bigs by the end of last season, and now he's going to be on the big league roster.
Okay.
Got rid of his, prospect status, so he's a professional now. He's not a prospect anymore. So, but sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, but I will say, sorry for interrupting again, the jump you were just talking about, making the jump from Double A to big leagues, seen it happen. When I was with Wichita, Gilberto Celestino, Rob Reschneider played center field for the Twins that day because Byron Buxton was out. I think he was hurt with maybe ACL. I don't remember exactly what it was. Rob Reschneider runs in the outfield wall. You might remember it. They put tape up around him like it was a crime scene on the outfield wall. You remember this?
Yes.
So Gilberto Celestino gets called up to AAA because they call the AAA guy up to Minnesota. On an off day, I'm pretty sure this is how the story goes. On an off day, that guy that gets called up to the big leagues gets hurt or sick. Sick, maybe. I don't remember exactly how the story goes. So Celestino's in AAA in St. Paul. Rain delay. They bang the game. So he's on the AAA roster for a day. Gets called up to the big leagues the very next day. So he literally made the jump from AA to AAA.
Because he never played a game.
He never played a game, but there is a rule saying that you have to be on the roster for at least a day, at least 24 hours on the net. You can't skip levels. You got to go level by level.
Next guy, outfielder Brennan Davis from Arizona. He's his ETA 2023. He was the MVP of the 2021 Features game.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I mean, that's
Cool.
went deep twice at Coors Field. You got to love that. He's been riddled with injuries so far.
2021 Futures game, huh?
Yep.
There's some studs in that game.
Yeah. Kevin Alcantara, younger than me too. Same thing as
So the Cubbies are going to be good in about 5 years.
yeah. Kind of like when Chris Bryant and Kyle Schwarber and all those guys were already in the minors like that, like they were. Wilson Contreras. His ETA is going to be 2024. He's right there with Pete. And then our two pitchers, we got Cade Horton and Jordan Wicks. Both one right-handed. Cade is the right-hander and Jordan is the left-hander. So right now the Cubbies are really heavy in the outfield, but I'm okay with that. I think when you have a lot of outfielders, you got a lot to work with. You got trade bait, especially if 3 of them are in the top.
Yeah. Kind of wild. I think that'll be good. It's always good to have some trade bait. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, moving on, we're going to talk about in 2024 when Texas and OU join the SEC.
I hope it's good, but I do not see it being good.
Dude.
In my opinion. Especially this year, because Texas is in a way better spot than Oklahoma is from this past season.
Yeah, but I think Venables,
he'll turn it around.
He'll get it going.
They will. And I see it happening, but also at the same time, I don't see them being as dominant in the SEC as they are in the Big 12.
Yeah, but I do think, and I got the printout here of how it realigns. I think they just geographically they draw the right straw to fit in a little bit.
Yeah, because they only have to worry about LSU.
They don't have to worry about. No, they do have to worry about LSU.
No, I said they only have to worry about LSU.
Yeah, and your sneaky Texas A&M.
Yeah,
but and maybe Lane gets some more stuff going with the transfer portal and has some stuff. And dude, Lane's got a problem on his hands right now. He's got 3 freaking quarterbacks that are really good. Who's gonna play?
You tell me.
That's a story for another time. But the West makes up of OU, Texas, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Mizzou, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and LSU. And you're like, holy cow, that's some good teams. But
wait till
look at the East.
Well, the West. Okay, the West in my time frame that I've been alive and knowing and watching college football, all those teams have had their moments at the top, in my opinion, on their side for at least a couple games. Like they've been good, right?
No doubt.
Mississippi State, Dak Prescott, when he was there, that's when they were there with their best time.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have LSU, obviously.
Yeah,
LSU. They're obviously LSU. Then you have A&M, Johnny Manziel, all those guys. OU, like I said, Texas, yes. Even Arkansas. Arkansas showed spurts here recently that they aren't
my
pushover.
My next segment or my next subject kind of talks about Arkansas a little bit, but those are all. I don't know. I still think obviously geographically they got in on the right side just due to the fact that Alabama and Auburn are shifting over to the East. At least that's what the mock-up is. Talk about wild,
dude.
The East is going to be wild. Dude, could the East alone get 4 playoff teams when they expand to 12?
Yes.
Oh, dude. Because you're looking at Kentucky, who on a given year might be okay, put up a fight. You got Tennessee, who, could be coming into something. Like, they got it going a little bit. Vanderbilt was just Vanderbilt, whatever. South Carolina on the trend up, in my opinion. They got some transfers that I think are real difference makers. And then you look at, obviously, you got Georgia. You got the Florida Gators, which on any given year could, wreck shop for somebody. Did I already say Auburn? You got Auburn.
No, but you got Auburn.
So, and then the one and only Alabama. Everybody's kryptonite, unless your name's Georgia in the past couple of years.
But, that's Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's
Yeah, it's
Georgia.
Georgia. You know.
So, and that kind of, I don't know. It's going to be wild. And then, the same year that you start the new SEC, I say the new SEC, Texas and OU moving over, they're looking at starting a 12-team playoff, which I think is awesome.
Going to be great for the game.
Logistically, it's a nightmare.
Yes,
But I think for the common, the general public, it's awesome. So basically the layout of it is you take your top 4 conference champions in the polls, and they get a first-round bye.
I can get down
So
with that.
you do still get, you still get some reward for winning your conference.
Okay.
It's still, and then the next 6 that aren't a conference champion in the polls get a large bid. So you still get rewarded for being high in the polls.
Yeah.
Obviously, duh. And then after that, it's the next 2 conference champions. So you're probably looking at whoever, if the Pac-12 doesn't get somebody in those automatic top 4 bids, you're probably looking at the Pac-12 and you're probably looking at maybe the American. So there's always a G5 conference champion that makes it.
Okay.
Kind of interesting.
I like it
I like it too.
because they probably got tired of hearing give the little guys a shot.
Exactly.
And then
You're
they
tired
did,
of the Central Floridas and the Cincinnatis.
which I mean Cincinnati got in it. You know.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah. But here's where it does screw some people over. The schools that are not in a conference. Your Notre Dames of the world.
They just got to be ranked or what?
Well, you got to be ranked in the top whatever. Like
Correct.
if you're just because you're number 11 and so you would think they take the top 12 teams because it's a 12-team playoff, doesn't mean you get in. So it's kind of, for those types of schools, kind of screws them a little bit. But I think moving in the right direction, in my opinion.
I agree, and I mean like you look at a team like Notre Dame that gets to handpick their schedule.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't
do
know.
good, I guess. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. So with that, kind of moving on to our early predictions for next year's college football season at the FBS level. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it comes down to Georgia and Bama. Shocker, I know, but I think that's just the world we're kind of living in right now. Another thing I think Florida State makes a splash.
Really?
I think so. They were doing some good things this year. They were in a lot of games. I think they could. They're not. I don't think they're gonna win like the big one. I don't think they're. But I could see them playing in a lot of meaningful football games late in the year.
Yeah, I could see that too.
They got a lot of talent. I don't know. They're in Tallahassee. Great spot to be in.
Gotta love Tallahassee.
Wow.
I mean, you don't have to, but I do.
Yeah.
I
Who
do.
do you like? Who do you like for 2023 football?
Dude.
Well, I guess it'd be 2024 national title.
I like Tennessee.
I can see it.
Here's why they're going to have to, obviously, you're going to have to fight your way out of the East like we just talked about, that
Yeah.
juggernaut of a half conference.
But
that side.
you come out of the East, you are freaking
You're the
battle
dudes.
tested.
You're the dudes, right? And I think this year they kind of got their glimpse of what it tastes like to be at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that hopefully coming into this year, they want it. You know what I mean?
I can see it. They got some talent. I think they lost a couple guys in transfer portal, but I think it'll be good.
They're on the trend up.
Yeah.
So I'm
I think
hoping.
so.
But honestly, you could always revert to the old faithful, Bama.
Yeah.
They're always going to be there.
Going with Florida State, I think Arkansas has made some moves in the transfer
Yes.
portal. They could, and I don't know. I think Arkansas has made some moves in the transfer portal that could really help them, play some meaningful football games.
And to be quite honest, I'm a little biased. I like Tennessee. I know a guy there on the roster. He's a good guy. But I think LSU, and here's why. Okay, Kelly's first year, he hasn't gotten his guys in there yet, and he did this, right?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Like, I mean, come
I don't
on.
know. I'm just not a huge Kelly fan.
Neither am I. Came from Notre Dame, did whatever. Kind of like was big Notre Dame, and then they would always lose the big game, right?
Yeah.
So now he's in a point where comes to LSU, does this thing. There's been a lot of talk where since he's not from the state, they're going to push him out because they're big state people down there. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
Ed Orgeron, it's whatever. But
They pushed him out, didn't they?
yeah, and
So
he was
what-
from there.
what
That's
do
what
you
I'm
want?
saying. That's what I don't
The
understand.
guy won a national title.
So it was kicked out the next year.
I know.
So I mean, this is Kelly's first year, and it's probably going to be his worst team from what he wants. And I mean, he did that. So I'm expecting bigger things from LSU this year. But like I said, you always take the Bama.
No, that's the easy one.
That's-
Bama, Georgia.
Bama, Georgia.
I mean, that's the easy one. So,
That's big one and two.
final question from mine: who do you got for Heisman? Where do you think it comes from?
Dude.
East Coast, West Coast? What do you think? What do you got?
Caleb Williams again.
Yeah, I think we're West Coast all the way.
How do you go against that? I mean, he was the
Yeah.
clear winner this year. You know?
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, obviously it already happened. Now, bold prediction. I think isn't Bo Nix coming back to Oregon? Bo Nix. Let me look that up real quick. Bo Nix. I think. I think he is. I think he has another year. Yeah, returns in 2023.
Okay.
I could see Bo Nix making a push. I think he's there in New York or wherever the heck they have the Heisman finalists. I think he's there. I don't know. What do you think? Heisman? Caleb Williams, obviously. Is your
Caleb
guy.
Williams up there. Drake May is also a very good one. I like Drake May.
May.
You familiar with the old Drake May?
Enlighten me.
Quarterback, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
He's-
yeah.
I mean, he's right up there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's next up,
I
I
can see it.
think. Obviously, it's easy for us to say Caleb because we saw him do it. And like I
Well,
said,
yeah.
in my mind, he was the guy all the way. But
Yeah, I agree. So,
coming up next on the podcast, jumping into segment 4. This is a segment where we're going to talk about our favorite shows that we've been into lately. Going to be called Buttered Popcorn.
ooh.
Dallas, take us away here with
Yeah,
your...
so we were going to do movies. I was like, dude, and Welcome to America, the attention span has gone way down. I did just watch a movie last night. I watched Top Gun Maverick again, just as good as the first time.
Again.
But we decided to do shows. Yellowstone. Anything to do Yellowstone.
Never watched them.
Oh, my.
I hear I'm missing out, but I jumped on the train late when it came out. It was a little bit when it first came out.
Let's see. We're on, season 3? So 2 years, 3 years ago?
So 2020? Was it before COVID or after COVID?
Maybe right after COVID. Maybe this is only the second season.
No, I think we're in 3 though.
Nah, couldn't tell you. See how
Either-
much a super. I just like watching it. I don't know that I'm a super fan. I just love watching it.
Because I think what happened was I was at my freshman year of college when it came out, so I didn't have a way to watch it. Oh, it came out in 2018. I was not. What? 5 seasons of Yellowstone?
Good Lord.
Well, we couldn't have been off the ball more than that, folks.
Yeah,
That's on me, Coach. That's on me.
it's all good. It's all good. But I will tell you, me and my wife have been well, I say just finished a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, finished the last 2 seasons of Outer Banks
Dude,
because
say it. Give it to me.
it's coming out next week, season 3.
February 23rd, folks.
Whoa,
Who's excited for that?
this
Me.
guy.
My show that I think is it's a quick 25-minute episodes. Everybody should take a look. Early 2000s or mid to late 2000s. Show Entourage. It follows 4 friends, right? Big famous actor, his brother, and then his 2 friends named Vince. Vince is the main guy. His manager is his best friend growing up, Eric. Brother to Vince is Johnny Chase, and he does like a lot of like soap opera type stuff. Like he's an actor, but he's really the actor. You know what I mean? And then their other best friend growing up, Turtle. So it's these 4 guys and how they don't they don't use Vince as a way to be famous for themselves, but obviously like, they take the money, they'll accept it. But it kind of shows you the in and outs of the movie world and the show world and how much goes into really the developing of a movie, producing a movie, finding a director, just finding all the cool crevices you never think about Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
How money plays an important role. Like if I want to do this movie, but my quote is $3.5 million, the studio wants to pay me that. I could sign a contract to get paid the $3.5 now, and in 2 years when they do the sequel, they'll give me $7. So it's just about ways and how people
It
want
runs you through all that in the show?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But like it's kind of like a sidebar way. Like obviously it follows Vincent Chase and Johnny Chase,
Sure. It's gonna
Eric
be the
and
story behind
Turtle.
everything. Like,
but it's like they meet with their agent, and their agent's like, Vince, you got a meeting with Universal about doing Aquaman. He's like, dude, I don't want to do Aquaman. Meet down with the studio president, and he's like, listen, Vince, here's our idea. They wheel in the costume. You can be a superhero. Your quote right now is $2.5 million. To do the first one, we'll give you $4 million. To do the sequel after that, we'll give you $8.5 million. And if there's a third because everybody likes it, $12.5 million set up right now, locked and loaded.
good Lord.
So he's like, yeah, because they're like, you sign it now, we're set. So he signs it. He does the first one. But then he kind of wants to do his own thing. He doesn't want to do a studio movie just for the money. He wants to do like a private film, an indie film, independent. So then you have to find, if I came to you like, D-Money, I got a cool script with all these people I need, $150 million to do it. You put all the money up for that. You produce it, right? But it's a lot harder to do those because there's no money backing it. It's just one person. So he goes and he does his adventures over there. That movie sucks. So then he can't find any jobs in Hollywood because they think he's a dud now. So it just follows his career, and you learn a lot about the movie industry in Hollywood that you never would have thought. It is executively produced by Mark Wahlberg. So a lot of people think it's loosely based on
The Burger.
The Burger. A lot of Wahlburgers. Never been.
Me neither.
Opened one up near us.
Where?
Wichita.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Where at?
We got I don't know, probably Rock Road.
Yep. Might be reporting from you from live from Wahlburgers.
Flipping the burgers in the back. But so I don't know, great show. We got a chance, check it out. I loved it. HBO Max. Another segment quick here we got is what we're both avid eBay sellers, folks.
Love
to
selling
do
on
it.
eBay.
It's easy, it's quick, it's fun. You know, you get randomly get paid, and then you're like, oh, something sold on eBay. Love it. Dallas unfortunately has not sold anything in the past week, but the Scooter has.
Yeah, I mean, recruiting season, kind of my eBay slows way down.
It happens.
Not due to the fact of like not me not wanting to, just due to the fact of not having enough time. But we're getting back into it.
So, I sold a pair of shoes, some Jordan 1 Bugs Bunnies, right? No box, no nothing crazy. I think I sold them for around $100 or something like that. Ship them to the authenticity guarantee thing and get them locked and loaded. So
what's the deal on eBay? You sell a pair of shoes over $100. It's what?
So honestly, it doesn't even need to be over $100. So here's what happens: they have this deal with FedEx. So if I'm a big shoe guy, which I am, and that's what I sell, if I want them to be backed by authenticity guarantee, because if you're a buyer on eBay, you see a pair of shoes, you want them to be real.
Yeah, you want that.
So
you need a fake pair, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, you're like,
just paid all this money for a pair of Skechers.
Dude, cut the shit. So, you post the shoes. They pay for it all. FedEx does. You pay for it when you list them and all that jibber jab because they take it out when you send your payout. You have these shoes. So I'm the seller. I click on them. I buy them. It sends me the notifications like ready to ship your shoes. Print shipping label. Log into your eBay. Log into the computer.
Yeah.
Print it for free. Box it. Load it up. It gets sent to New York.
Ooh.
SneakerCon, I believe, go through it, unravel it, check them, make sure they're real, and then send them to the buyer.
So let me ask you this, because I've never done this. I do sell some shoes, but they're cleats. I sell cleats. I got a little business of cleats. Baseball cleats, really, some overstock football cleats. But how long does it take? Because I feel like that might extend the process.
Because SneakerCon's in New York.
Sure.
I would say when I bought a pair of shoes, over maybe just a week, if that. probably like 4 or 5 days. It's like 2 days to get to New York, and then once it's in New York, I think that they do expedited shipping. In my opinion, they have to for it to be less than a week.
I wonder how eBay makes money on that.
I have no idea.
That's incredible. Maybe it's just due to the fact of the credibility of it that sticks out.
So they know that they'll sell a lot more shoes if they.
Sure, exactly.
You would think.
Yeah. So, but hopefully, I'm gonna kick back or shake back and sell some things this week and
Start making some ched.
Yeah. So we have next topic. We're gonna do every time we sign off. We're gonna do a sports or not a sports uniform draft, just a draft in general. But this week our topic is sports uniforms. We have top 5 down. Let's just do top 3.
I like top 3. That's
Okay,
a lot.
perfect.
Okay. I'll let you go first. I'm dying to hear what you've got locked and loaded.
Yeah, so we spoke a little bit before recording this, and I would not tell him my number 1.
He would absolutely not. But I mean,
Let me tell you, it's a good one,
is it a good one?
and it's gonna be a dagger for you
It
because it involves your favorite color.
Okay, so it's orange,
Tennessee smoke gray uniform,
dude. The mountain ones,
The mountain on the side of the helmet ones,
I love those.
dude.
They caught some flack for them.
I don't know why, because that
I
dude,
love
that
it.
combo is
It's
just
Halloween. They call them like the Halloweens or something.
good. And then you put spooky Rocky Top on top of it.
Dude,
Talk about atmosphere,
come on.
dude.
I loved them.
I gotta find me one of those helmets. I don't care if it's not even real. I want to get one of those for my office.
So when they broke those out, I fell in love.
Oh, dude.
So, all right, mine's also college football, and let me pull up a picture so you can see it. Oklahoma State,
Oklahoma State. Ooh, sheriff symbol.
sheriff symbol, orange chrome Pistol Pete helmet. Honestly, jersey combo. I don't care what you do with these. These are the best helmet in college football.
Wow. Do they have the? Do they have like the cowboy acrylic around the collar and everything?
What do you mean?
Because they got like a. They have like a lining around the
Yeah,
collar.
that one's those
Dude,
are sick.
there's just so much detail. In
I
those.
know, and like all of them are just.
See, I love Oklahoma. Yes, there it is.
Yep, there it
I
is.
love Oklahoma State's what they do with their stuff,
Dude.
But I think number 1 and number 2 for Oklahoma State. Cowboys on the side of the helmet in cursive, awesome. The other one is the sheriff symbol, the sheriff badge on the side
star?
of the helmet.
Dude.
The sheriff star on the side of the helmet. Awesome.
They can just do so much with it, and they have money, right? They got the atmosphere, they got everything locked down. So their uniforms are just
They're awesome.
they're next level.
So next pick for old D Money is, and this is going to be low key, but this is how I'm doing this one because of how much time it took in. Remember when Navy? Yes, Navy. Dude, put the freaking fighter jets on the side of their helmets.
Now that was awesome.
Oh my gosh.
That was nuts.
I don't even remember what the uniforms look like, but the helmets were so freaking cool, and I don't even think they're all the same. I think the helmets were individualized.
Yeah.
Awesome in my opinion. I loved them.
Yep. My second, Montreal Expos.
Ooh.
Dude, baby blues, the powder blues.
Yeah.
A little breaking it up here, going a little baseball.
Yeah.
Just
Fun.
I've got a Vladimir Guerrero Sr. Expos jersey that I got on eBay, and it is this one right there. Those are so smooth.
Man.
The logo with the M with the E on the 3 colors that they have. I mean, you could even go the white ones. The white ones they're hats.
Back to the baby blues. I think the baby blues are awesome. Some baseball teams, I don't know if they should have them.
Like who?
I don't know. And especially in the minors. In the minors, some people just do baby blue tops and white pants. Baby blue,
Really?
yeah. So, and I get it, budget, whatever. But if you're gonna do it, do it.
The baby blue everywhere makes it look so much better.
Yes.
Philly's baby blue, that's a good baby blue.
Yes.
But
I feel like if you're doing baby blue, you got to have a sidekick color of red or a gold. There's your 20s.
you've got to do something to offset
See,
it.
they're right there. White in the big leagues, white pants with
Rays, not a fan.
no. It's got to be all or nothing,
Cardinals, super clean.
dude.
Smooth. Yes. Regular Blue Jays now, love them.
Yeah,
They're good because it's very minimal. The red's minimal, so it pops.
yeah.
But I still think the smoothest baby. I'm not a fan of the Blue Crew.
Oh, the Brewers.
Yeah.
Nah,
The style's cool, but you got to go like you said, all blue,
all or nothing.
all or nothing.
And here's the thing. Here's where the Brewers messed that up. And that's our City Connect jersey, correct?
correct.
Okay. If you're gonna have blue top, and then stretch it down to say you're having in the blue bottoms, the cap can't be baby blue. Like it's got to switch it up.
I would do yellow. Looking at them here, a yellow
or
would be kind of
navy.
nice.
Yeah. So here's
Navy
why
would be
here's
clean.
why they
That'd be
won't
good.
do yellow,
Why?
in my opinion. Now, City Connect is a totally different story, but the appearance on TV, I don't think is going to be appealing once they've sweat in the hat.
I could see that.
You know, and you see all these college baseball, like who was it? The guy who got suspended, played for the Dodgers, played at UCLA. You see all those videos of him in college, and his hat is like freaking gray, and they're supposed to be baby blue. I think it just messes up the appearance of MLB. So I don't think they're ever going to go yellow.
You know, we said 3. I could really go 5.
Nope, I'm only going 3 because I only have one more that I can just rattle off.
Okay, well, I want to do 5.
Oh, we'll let you go 5.
Okay, good.
So my last one,
go for it.
and I used to be a huge. Let me bring this back. Huge NCAA 05 huge
Oh,
Ohio State Buckeyes fan.
no
Dude,
way.
Made a
Really?
dynasty with them.
Wow.
So
I love that.
I love their black, charcoal, and red unis.
Dude, yes.
Like,
Underrated.
I'm not a fan of, not a huge fan of them now, but like I love those uniforms.
Yeah.
But I think that's a little bit of the graphics guy coming to me because you get different shades of gray and different shades of black, and with another color, and it just it pops. It's awesome. So who do you got for your last 3? Because I'm not pulling it. Okay, I know UTEP. Like, come on.
So my last 3, dude.
Are you talking all orange UTEP? Oh my god.
The 2015 era, before they went to like this newer lighter orange type. I'm not a big fan of the lighter orange, like the Tennessee type lighter orange that they got going on now. It's still clean, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, it's clean.
I like the maroons one better than the orange now. If it's that tint of orange, that's got to be an accent color. It can't be your primary.
Yeah.
But these right here, oh my.
All orange with the white and blue stripe
that
on the side.
is my favorite tone of orange.
Yeah.
Love it. Got a UTEP mini helmet. So that's the one. UTEP Miners, baby. UTEP also coming in at my number 4 spot again.
Oh wow.
Texas Western throwbacks.
Ooh yes.
Dude.
Yes.
And that's one where
I don't know. And pull it up because I don't. If I remember right, the Texas Western on the front of it doesn't pop enough for me.
Yeah.
But it's still cool.
It's really minimal. They do
Like
it
it's
really
white
minimal.
on orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's
See,
the helmet.
I thought it was a lighter orange.
And that's also
But
just,
it's still,
just
it
because
pops
I
good.
some that orange.
Yeah.
That specific orange they got.
That's cool, Uni.
These throwback helmets are freaking sick
I've never seen
too.
those.
Awesome. Some actual miner on the side. My last one, and it's actually a present uniform.
Ooh.
Going back to baseball, I've got.
Oh, I could do a fourth. You want me to chime in here with the fourth?
Yeah, chime in. Come on.
So, and I've been a Royals fan. Like, okay, whatever. I work for the Twins. I like the Twins more, just because I know guys. But the Royals City Connect jersey, is this where you're going with it?
No,
Okay, Royals City Connect jersey is sick.
dude, it's awesome. City of Fountains, so they
Dude,
incorporated that everywhere in it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's awesome.
I
Sorry,
love it
I didn't
too.
mean to interrupt
No,
you.
no, no.
Number 5 for Scoochie Dean.
The Phillies cream, dude.
Yeah.
Phillies cream with Bryce Harper's up there in that Royal blues popping with the red,
Yep.
and he's up there in his blue sleeve, and that red pops
They
perfectly.
didn't used to have as much blue in their coloring scheme, did they?
No, not even like when Ryan Howard was there. There was like
Ooh.
none. The only blue was
It was like baby blue,
was
wasn't
the
it?
star on the Phillies.
Oh, okay,
Now
yeah.
these creams with those hats,
Yeah, those are sick. Hey, another thing I will tell you, being a clubhouse
Love.
guy, the cream pants, way better.
I I bet.
Don't have to scrub near as much.
Dude, when you scrub, are you scrubbing with like a brush, or how do you scrub that?
Yeah. So a couple different things. Like you can scrub that. I don't even remember what the name of the brush pad deals were, but you can scrub with that. And then like I always use like a brush, just a normal brush with some shout.
Find something that gets the stains out.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but yeah, that kind of wraps it up for us today. We appreciate you guys on with us. If you guys don't mind, look us up on Twitter. Give us a follow. We'll be posting all of these from our YouTube link on Twitter. We are Box Truck Talk on Twitter and YouTube. So follow, like, subscribe, do all that good jazz. And then we will be back with you guys on next Friday. Next Friday, yeah.
Yep.
So totally new content every week, and we're fired up. But this is D Money. This is
Scoochie Dean.
signing off.